last video, I spent way too much time on this bead puzzle. So I'm just going to solve this real fast and we're going to get back to the game. Necklace of Communion. The silver loops, each intertwined with its neighbors, were elegant in their simplicity. Kaylin traced her fingers along one of them and got a brief sense of those around her, as if she was inside of them with a better understanding of their abilities than they likely had themselves. Kaylin let her fingers slip away from the silver and the feeling faded. That's basically what we call like an assessment. It's an assessment item. It allows you to have perfect assessment. I forgot to sleep in this guy's barn. I'm gonna go sleep in his barn. The companions entered the barn to decide if they wanted to spend the night there. Moving aside some straw, they discovered a worn leather satchel. This looks like it's been here for quite some time. To Master Burns, First Rector, Burneth Academy. I am almost afraid to write these words, lest the commission of them to paper cause them to become merely the dream that they seem to be. And what could they be but a dream, the vision of every scholar since the Academy's founding? I apologize if I sound distracted. My thoughts are scattered like Rika stones, and I cannot find a way to make this scrap of parchment convey the excitement and awe that we all feel at this moment. The expedition is a success. The few Veil artifacts unearthed by the miners are only the smallest fraction of the treasure we have uncovered. Although we have only barely begun to explore, we have already discovered carvings in all three Veil languages. It is my dearest wish that this might be the key that we have been seeking for so long, the means by which we can finally unlock the ancient writings of the most mysterious race. We have several needs, which we hope you see fit to grant us. More pairs of hands to help shift, rock, and copy these ancient carvings, parchment, and ink supplies for an extended investigation. I suspect you will have no lack of volunteers for this expedition. Perhaps it is time for you, my friend, to stir from your scholarly duties and venture forth into the world. For how could you possibly miss the opportunity to walk the buried halls of the Vel and help to decipher the secrets that this incredible place might hold? For myself, I shall steal a few hours of sleep now, as we have been working day and night to secure this find. The mystery of the Vel has remained opaque for many thousands of years. A single night more will make no difference. Jarston. Oh, they got a good... This bow is better than the one she's using. She's still got a short bow. That's a Gorolf bow, which is better. gosh, I guess I should probably switch to a hack because I have a really high melee. I'm probably not gonna miss. Missed. It's kind of surprising. This is obviously trapped. I don't know if I should even try to open this. See, I don't have a spell like Aaron that tells me that it's trapped, but it says it's already unlocked, and I know I couldn't go this way before.
It must be broken or something. It must be broken or something. It must be broken or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to skip it. Because she won't even try to defuse it.
We don't have the time for detours, Raul. My father might be in danger.
I more or less go this way to show you where the, where the boundaries are. Speedbow. As Kalen gripped the bizarre composite bow and thought of firing a test show, an arrow instantly appeared knocked and ready. Stunned at the enchantment, Kalen realized that eliminating the need to find and grab a new arrow made it possible to shoot twice as quickly. So it allows 2 shots per use. It has only a mild 5 accuracy and 5 damage upgrade, whereas the Geralf bow has a 25 accuracy mod. Means that you have to have pretty high archery to use that bow. I think I'm gonna keep it here for now and just put something here. We do come back here, of course. Obviously, I know that we're eventually gonna come back over here. Their town is set up like a college campus. It's just like, look guys, here's like your middle, and then everything's going around in a circle. A brass plaque read, Archibald Feathersby Expeditions. Raoul put his knuckles to the door. It opened, revealing a man with glorious mutton chop whiskers. He welcomed them cordially. Come in. You both look to be seekers of adventure. Well, my friends, you've come to the right place. Archibald Feathersby at your service. Feathersby bowed neatly for such a stout gentleman. Kalen asked, what kind of expeditions do you lead? The only kind worth leading, expeditions into the black heart of the waste. Only there does one experience the excitement, the danger, the thrill of never knowing what sort of creature one will next encounter. Raoul gestured to the menagerie of animal heads mounted on the walls. Like these, the firewolf is the only one I recognize. Feathersby slapped the Geralf on the shoulder. Yes, indeed, my boy, those and more. Your people are some of the best hunters I've ever seen. Have you come to sign up for a greater challenge? The possibility excited Raoul. Sounds interesting, but we don't have the time just now. Maybe some other day. Feathersby waved his hand. Never mind. Turning to Kalen, he continued. A lesson then. You seem comfortable with that bow, but in many years of prowling the waste, I'll wager I've picked up a trick or two you've never seen. I could pass them along to you in just a few hours. Or just 200 burlas. Kalen agreed and paid 200 burlas. He approved her decision, noting, you can never tell when survival skills will come in handy. The blustery man proved as good as his word. In 2 hours, he showed Kalen some impressive techniques, increasing her skill with the bow. Looks like she gained 10 in bow skills. want to sell all that stuff, this is where I would sell it. If I didn't have a breastplate and torch, do I need a torch? I don't know. I don't know. They're cheap. Let's get some torches. What? Kalen's knock obviously interrupted the man's reading as he came to the door carrying an open book. Distracted, he asked, "Have you come about my book? I can't seem to find it." Raoul pointed. "Isn't that your book in your hand?" The man snapped the book closed. "Not this book. A social analysis of organisms. I just purchased it. Been waiting to read it for months, and now I can't find it anywhere. If you come across it, please bring it back unread. I hate it when other people read my books." In the same motion, the reader opened his book and closed the door. It's on the floor. So this involves one of your choices. You can either read the book and get what it gives you, or you can hand it back to him. So if you read the book, it'll give you... Sorry, he's wearing the necklace of communion right now, but it'll give you 5 to assessment if you read his book. Now let's give it back to him. "Yes, as a matter of fact, we did find your book," Kalen said, handing it over. "You left it under a table at the Feral Dock." The man slapped a hand to his forehead. "But of course, how stupid of me." The reader avidly turned the pages. "I see you followed my wishes and left the book unread. Thank you so much. When I was at the Feral Duck, I must have picked up the wrong bag by mistake. The thing in this bag don't do me any good, so you may as well take them." Thanking the man for his generosity, the companions accepted his gift and left him with his new book. So he gave me some beeswax and a short bow and some bowstring. Well, 5 assessment is not really like nothing to cry home about. Like, who really gives a crap? So I'll just give him his book back, because let's be honest, who cares, right? Like, so the Elder's Tale, Carlith Mating Rituals, Panaka's Last Stand. You know, I already have that with the other 2 guys, so I mean, Panaka's Last Stand would help to give me more defense. But I mean, I could buy it again, but maybe I'll wait. Raoul knocked. He knocked and knocked again. Then he banged on the door. Finally it opened, the hinges squealing. The man standing before them was obviously intoxicated. His robe hung askew, his hair and beard unkempt. He slurred, "Have you come to see the wizard? He's not available, he's not here." "But aren't you the wizard?" Gillen asked, seeing traces of arcane paraphernalia in the room behind him. Tears sprang up in the mage's eyes. "You found me out, girlie, but it's all gone. My magic's deserted me." The drunken mage began to sign off key. "I'm an actor without fame, a moth without a flame. I'm a poet who can't rhyme. I'm a clock without the time." Raoul's ears flattened at the hideous wailing. The man thankfully stopped and held a finger up to his eye. "But I've got a secret. A secret. A secret." "What's your secret?" Kaelin asked a bit impatiently. The mage appeared not to have heard her. Stumbling over his words, he rambled. "Too much power, not enough control. Burned me out, it did. Left a shell of a mage, a pile of ashes where once stood a man." Kaelin gestured to Raoul. "Let's move on. He's in no condition for conversation." The mage clutched at her sleeve, suddenly coherent with need. "But I've got a secret to sell. Give me some Takoran wine and I'll tell you. Give me wine and I'll tell you. Otherwise, go away." The door swung open at Raoul's touch. Inside, a group of human musicians practiced a Gerolf tune on traditional Gerolf drums. Kaelin merely winced at the discord, but Raoul was enraged. Ears flat, he shouted, "What is this? The meaning of this?" A Gerolf yell can cut through the din of a Karn mating ritual. The drumming stopped. Silence. One of the musicians attempted an explanation. "It's a Gerolf dance which..." Raoul interrupted. I know what the Malfear is. Why are you attempting to play it?" Another musician ventured. "We heard a Gerolf group do it. It was different, exciting, we thought." Raoul cut him off with a snarl. "So you mangled the Malfear because you find it appealing?" The musician gulped. "I know we don't have it quite right yet, but..." Raoul bristled. "The Malfear is not yours to perform. It is one of the oldest Gerolf traditions with more innate power than you can possibly imagine. It is deeply spiritual experience which humans may share, but only at the invitation of my people. Your pathetic attempt is a dishonor to the Malfear and an insult to the Gerolf spirits who can feel its pull." The musicians huddled together, terrified. "We didn't know. We only thought..." Raoul drew himself up to his full height. "You will swear by the three faces of your god never to attempt this sacrilege again." The musicians' protests died on their lips when they saw the steely threat in Raoul's eyes. As the Gerolf directed his stare at each in turn, the musicians nodded a wordless promise. Satisfied, Raoul turned on his heel and left, Kaelin trailing behind. Well out of earshot, Kaelin grabbed the Gerolf's shoulder, forcing him to halt. "Raoul, isn't the Malfear just a song used to pass the time while waiting for meat to cook?" Raoul faced his friend, his yellow eyes twinkling. "Yes, but they were awful at it. There's no excuse for bad music." Let's go. Call building. Trying to think of if there was any wine around here that I could give that guy. I don't know if these guys sold any wine. Honestly, no worries. It's not really that important. See if I can retreat, but I don't know. It seems like they don't want me to retreat. You really can't retreat, even though you're standing right next to where you were. So far, so good. Okay, maybe I'm gonna have to swing. Wow. I realized that they were gonna miss.
Kaylin, my skin daughter. It is good to smell your scent again.
You requested my presence, Fur Father?
Yes, Kaylin. I have an invitation of too much consequence to impart by way of messenger. I approach Harquan, the time of passing, when I will add my experience and my essence to the infinite river of Gulf spirit.
But you are still virile and strong. Surely there are many moons before you would even consider.
Enough, child. Enough. You know it is our way to undertake Harquan well before we become burdensome to the pack. You are like one of our own. It would please me greatly if you return for the ceremony.
I am honored by your request, Fur Father. I will be there.
Please carry this invitation to your father as well. He has always been a friend to the pack, and to all Gurf. I will send a message to you at the proper time.
Rahl told me the pack has lost contact with my father. Do you know where he is?
No, Kalen, I don't. He's been missing since the specters first appeared in the wood. My scouts continue to sniff for him, but without success. I must warn you. There is a serious danger in the wood. They appear to be specters of unnatural origin, capable of stealing a creature's spirit with merely a touch. The body lives on, a mindless husk. I have summoned all the packs to the ancestral den. By coming together, hopefully we can protect our people from this evil.
Is there any way to defeat or kill a specter?
None that we know of. They move quickly and have no scent, so even evasion is difficult.
I don't mean to show ingratitude for your hospitality, Kerfalak, but I must return home and find my father.
I understand. A pup's first duty is to her own pack.
Pack leader, may I go with Kalen? 2 warriors stand a better chance than 1.
Yes, Ral. You may go with your skin, sister, but have a care and avoid the specters if possible.
Rahl will return to the pack soon, Fur Father. I give you my word on it.
Take care of each other. Keep your ears to the ground and your muzzles to the wind.
Yeah, he just kind of appears out of nowhere. For some reason, they decided not to animate him anywhere. Kaelin recognized the handwriting immediately. The note was from her father. Kaelin, there are dangerous creatures loose in the Ridgewood. I know you can take care of yourself, but these things aren't flesh and blood. Don't get near one. I've gone to a cave on the north side of the wood to try to find a way to stop these creatures before they hurt anyone else. I'll explain later. Love, Dad. So, that kind of tells me where to go. North. To the north of the wood. Look. say, those guys kind of surprised me a little bit. I knew they were kind of tough, but man, they are really tough. or not about the Emperor that he has mages that are called shadows. I think we already have that on it. Oh, you already have an attractor on it. I haven't noticed I'm kind of avoiding these little blue things. These are specters. they say nothing. They don't make any sound. So basically those Grolf are supposed to have been like infected by the specters. They had their souls taken from them.
Wait here. I thought I saw some.
A lot of enemies out here, you know, in the middle of the wood with all the specters. Really. Wow. These guys have some good defense. They really do only leave you one way to get here. I mean, to the cave to the north that he mentioned.
Dad, here you are. You had me worried.
Kalen and Rawl. This is a surprise.
Don't you know the wood is full of dangers? Why aren't you home?
I can see you were worried. Kalen, your dad's a tough old sparrowhawk. Believe it or not, I can take care of myself.
I've never been to this cave before. You've kept it a secret all these years. Why?
This cave is my old workshop. I never expected to be here again. Kalen, I'm a mage. Or at least I used to be. Now I must try to recall what I knew of the magical arts. If I don't succeed, those creatures will soon overrun the forest and invade our villages.
Are you sure you're all right, Dad?
For the last time, yes, I'm fine. A few weeks ago, I went to get some supplies in Breland. On the way there, I saw a horrible thing. A wraith attacked a villager, sucked the life right out of him, leaving naught behind but a crumpled shell. Didn't you get my note?
Yes, we got it. How else could we have found you?
Of course, how foolish of me. This is a dire situation indeed. I had to find some answers. Given the nature of those answers, this seemed the place to go.
You're a mage. How could you hide this from me?
I was a mage. And due to circumstance and timing, I am again. I haven't practiced the arts for many years. Not since your mother died. When you were old enough to ask about her death, I told you she had drowned. That was not the case.
What really happened to my mother? The truth, Father.
I killed her. That is to say, I caused her death. I'd found a shard of the Mirror of Smoke and Dreams. I was studying it. No. I was trying to capture its power. I knew that 7 mages collaborated to create the mirror. But in my youth and hubris, I thought I could master it alone. I was wrong. The forces got away from me. It was chaos. A maelstrom warping reality. Safe in the eye of the storm, I struggled to unravel the magic before it unraveled me. Finally, the weave fell apart. In the sudden silence, I heard a broken whimper. Your mother. She'd come in to bring me lunch. The maelstrom caught her and broke her like a ship dashed upon the rock.
But she was alive?
Yes. You see around you the magic's effect on my workshop. Your mother was subject to the same forces. Her mind was twisted as cruelly as her body, except for brief, horrible moments of clarity. For 3 days and nights I tried to undo my terrible mistake. On the morning of the 4th day, your mother ceased her raving. For just a moment, she looked at me with recognition, and unbelievably with love. I could not prolong her agony. I fed her some calder leaf, and she died in my arms. On that day I renounced magic. Kalen, my pride and arrogance cost me our most precious treasure. Please forgive me.
A mage. My father. All this time I never knew.
And you never would have known but for the current threat.
What are these spectral creatures?
Wraiths. Ethereal entities that feed on souls. Mature wraiths collect souls to feed their offspring. The wraiths in our wood seem to be youngsters, capable of feeding on the souls directly. I don't know why they've come through to our world from Etheria, nor how they managed to stay alive for more than a few hours. Etheria is another dimension that intersects our own at specific fracture lines. It is the source of everything we call magical in our world. Etherian magic energy, called mana, is the life force of the creatures from that world. When they cross into Ramar, whether by mischance or design, their mana gradually leaches away into our atmosphere. Without their mana, they soon suffocate. The further a creature is from a fracture, the faster he deteriorates. Or at least, that's what I thought.
Where are the fractures located?
The fractures occur at random. Since these areas have a high concentration of mana, it's easier to harness and use mana for magical purposes near a fracture. That's why most mages build their sanctums around them. A large fracture can generate fierce battles as mages compete for possession.
Can't they just make more fractures?
Don't think it hasn't been tried. More than one mage has lost his life in the attempt. But long ago, someone actually figured out a way to pass through into Etheria. Fractures days apart in our world might be right next to each other in Etheria, so a mage who knew what he was doing could, to all intents and purposes, travel instantaneously. If it weren't so dangerous a maneuver, fracture jumping might have become a common mode of transportation.
Fracture jumping sounds dangerous.
Right you are, Rawl. Wraiths are just the tip of the tree. Compared to other Etherian creatures, wraiths are lapdogs. Getting back to Ramar is also a problem. You can't open a fracture from inside Etheria, so you need a friend, preferably one you trust, to open an exit on our side. But the greatest danger is mana overload. The Etherian atmosphere is pure mana. Prolonged exposure affects a mage more than the strongest narcotic. If the will is weak, the raw magic overwhelms him, washing over and through his body, scorching him from the inside out.
Can someone who isn't a mage go into Etheria?
I suppose it's possible, theoretically. But it's rather a moot point. Ethereal travel has been outlawed for centuries, and the necessary knowledge long lost. The risks were just too great.
What is mana?
Mana is to Etheria what air is to our world. It permeates that dimension and enables life. The mana that passes into our world acts as a catalyst by which mages manipulate the forces in our reality. The higher the concentration of mana, the easier to shape these forces to our will. But this power is not without danger. Mana works on a mage like wine. It's all too easy to lose control, and when the magic you're shaping gets out of hand, the consequences are unpredictable and quite often disastrous. As well I know.
How can we protect ourselves from the wraiths?
That is what I blew the dust from my books to find out. At first I thought the wraiths would die within days from lack of mana. But somehow these creatures are shielded, so that their mana doesn't dissipate into our atmosphere. Without our intervention, they could devastate the entire region.
Tell us what we can do.
I've been working day and night trying to devise something to defeat the wraiths. Just last night I created an enchantment that I think will enable common weaponry to cut through the surrounding mana and do injury to the wraiths. If you two hadn't shown up just when you did, I would have gone out into the woods and tested it out for myself. As it is, I hope you'll take this old man's place on the field of battle.
Of course we will. Right, Kalen? Kalen?
Just tell us what we need to do.
Give me a weapon and I'll enchant it for use against the wraiths. I must warn you that the spell has not been perfected. It will probably weaken with use until it wears off completely.
See a little enchantment. So I'm going to enchant this weapon and that one.
I wish I could guarantee your victory against the wraith. You have courage to go out and fight the unknown. Would that I had the youth and strength to accompany you. Hayden, have you not a word of farewell for your father?
Goodbye.
She's pissed. I'm gonna make this a kind of